Welcome to Stuttering Sports. Today is February 19th, 2021, and the topic for today is the 2020 QB Carousel. Which teams do I think will change starting QBs? Which teams do I think are 50-50 on changing QBs, and which team probably won't change starting QBs? So without further ado, let's get right into it with the probably won't change quarterbacks. Starting off with that list is the Seattle Seahawks. There were rumors that Russell Wilson was unhappy with Seattle because they haven't been able to give him an offensive line throughout the years, which, I mean, you can't blame them for that. They haven't, but I don't see them trading Russ, and I don't see Russ being the type of guy to demand a trade. I think this story has just been overblown by like ESPN and all that stuff. Moving on, we have the Pittsburgh Steelers. Kevin Colbert, the Steelers GM, came out yesterday and did not really endorse Ben as their starting quarterback for next season. So that did spark a lot of conversations. Will Ben be back next season? There is already the retirement question, but Ben has shut that down, saying on multiple occasions that he wants to play. But, I mean, does Pittsburgh want him back? I think that Pittsburgh's very skeptical, as shown in Colbert not really giving him the strong endorsement. But I don't think they'll change QBs, or if they do, they'll just stay like in-house and either give Haskins or Rudolph the job, whoever wins that competition. But I don't see Ben leaving. I don't see Pittsburgh turning Ben down, at least for one more season. Third team on the list is the Miami Dolphins. There's a lot of conversation if Tua is a starting quarterback, if they should draft a QB with their number 3 pick, which I don't think they should. I don't think they will either. I think Tua kind of got bad luck with being in the same rookie class as Justin Herbert and Joe Burrow, than having to be compared to those two, because Tua wasn't a bad QB. He may not be a superstar all-pro guy, but he was not a bad rookie QB. Then like kind of basing off 8 games, that's a little unfair to Tua, so I don't think they'll change QBs. I would not be surprised if they did, if it came down to getting Deshaun Watson. So that's the if there is definitely Deshaun Watson. The fourth of the 5 teams from the probably won't change list is the Dallas Cowboys. They're keeping Dak whether they sign him long term or they just franchise tag him again. Dak wasn't in the hype video. Yeah, who gives a shit? Moving on to the 5th and final team, that is the New York Giants. I get that Daniel Jones has been quite underwhelming his first 2 seasons, but I like what Joe Judge is doing with the Giants. I don't think they'll change it up. I think they're going to give him one last year. Plus also, they haven't really given Daniel Jones a fair chance with weapons. I get the Saquon's there, but he was hurt for the whole 2020 season. They haven't really given him a true number 1 receiver, which I think they will strive to do this free agency. So, yeah, that is it for the probably won't change list. That is the Seahawks, Steelers, Dolphins, Cowboys, then the Giants. Moving to the 50-50s, the first team, the headlining team of the 50-50s is definitely the Houston Texans. I get that Deshaun Watson is very, 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 very mad at the Texans and then Jack Easterby, and I get that the Texans do waste talent, but I don't know if the Texans are gonna trade him. I think they're using the media to ask for a king's ransom. That is probably being like 2 first-round picks, probably 2 second-round picks, then 2 defensive starters. That's somewhere around the report that came out. I really think they're using the media saying, yeah, we don't plan on trading him, even if he holds out. I think they're kind of using that to get the king's ransom. And it just depends, will a team give that up? The Dolphins are in position to. The Broncos may, which we'll get to the Broncos later. But I don't know if a team will give that up. And the Texans, it's so hard to find a true franchise quarterback. That's why all these teams are in the quarterback carousel. It's so hard to find a true franchise quarterback. I don't think they're just going to just give it up. And they haven't yet. I don't think they will until potentially draft night. Moving on to the next team is the Minnesota Vikings. There were reports about Kirk Cousins potentially going to the 49ers, who we will talk about here soon. There were some reports on that. I'm sure the Vikings would not mind giving up Kirk one bit if it meant kind of like a QB swap, kind of like what the Lions did receiving Jared Goff with the Stafford deal. I think that's kind of realistic, but I don't know if they're really aggressive with trying to trade Kirk. I don't think they are. I don't really think they should be super duper, I don't think they should be doing that either. So I do think it's 50-50. It just depends what the 49ers want to do and how they kind of approach this situation. Speaking of the 49ers, let's talk about the 49ers. They are also a part of this 50-50 list. The reason they're in 50-50 and not will change because the 49ers have been in every QB trade talk. They have been a part of almost every single one of them. Is that I don't think another team wants to give Kyle Shanahan more ammo because we saw what Kyle Shanahan did with Jimmy Garoppolo just 2 seasons ago. The 49ers got the shit end of the stick that so hard this season with injuries. So I don't think teams will really want to give guys like Deshaun Watson just to the 49ers. The only way I see them changing quarterbacks is really just Kirk Cousins. I don't see a team giving up their franchise guy to the 49ers because, well, the 49ers would be insanely incredible then. So, yeah, that's why they're in 50-50 and not the will change. The fourth of the 5 teams from the 50-50 list is the New York Jets. The reason they're in 50-50 is because Darnold's still a good QB. He still has made great plays, and he still has shown flashes of being a true franchise QB. It's just the issue is they hold the number 2 pick, and Darnold's a bit injury prone. So I do think Darnold is very, very, very tradable. I mean, if damn Eagles could trade Wentz, then Darnold's insanely tradable. But it just depends on how much Robert Saleh and I forgot their GM's name, maybe Joe Douglas, that might be right. It depends how much they like Justin Fields and Zach Wilson moving forward. I personally don't think they should change QBs. I really like Sam Darnold, and I do think he's a hot commodity for the trade market for the will change quarterback group. But yeah, it's just I think they should give Darnold another chance because he's been given no weapons. He was handing the ball off to Frank Gore and throwing the ball to Rashad Perriman. So I definitely think they should keep him for at least one more season, but I would not be shocked to see them take a Zach Wilson during the draft. The 5th and final team from the 50-50 list is the Washington football team. They have been a name that has been rumored to be around Marcus Mariota. They have been kind of rumored around with most of these QBs. So it is evident that they are looking for a QB, but they just re-signed Heineke to a 2-year deal. They already have Smith locked up. I could see them making a move for a QB. I just don't really think it's realistic for the time being. So I think one more season and then they'll kind of go all in for a next QB. But on the other hand, I think if they can get a guy like a potentially Deshaun Watson, then they'll take him. Maybe they draft Trey Lance if he falls to them at 19. They're 50-50. I don't really know what Washington's thinking, to be honest. I don't know what they're doing, but I know that Ron Rivera is making some great choices down there. That is it for the 50-50 list. Let's move on to the will change quarterbacks. There are 6 teams in this one. Let's start off with probably the most evident one. That is the Chicago Bears. Mitchell is out, but they still made the playoffs with Mitchell, so Mitchell is still a valuable QB to some people's eyes. Not my eyes, personally. But, yeah, the Bears are definitely searching for a QB hard. With Ryan Pace and Matt Nagy being given this second chance to kind of be like, hey, we're putting those seasons on Mitchell. We still made the playoffs with you guys. Just try to find a QB. I think they'll either be aggressive in moving up during the draft or they'll potentially move on from Mitchell and try to make a trade for a Deshaun Watson, which their name has been circulated around. They were around the Carson Wentz deals, apparently. I just think it's a done deal. I definitely think Mitchell's out. Foles is also not their starter, shown during the 2020 season where they literally benched him. Yeah, the Bears, they still made the playoffs without a true QB. So if they get a true QB, they should be a contending team. Moving on, we have the New Orleans Saints. Drew Brees is out. I definitely think that he is retiring. And it comes down to who will be their starter next season, Taysom Hill or Jameis Winston. Jameis is set to become a free agent. I definitely think, it's without a doubt they will change QBs. Whether that be Taysom or Jameis Winston, I think they're going to go with Jameis and kind of leave Taysom to be their specialty gadget guy. Or maybe they'll run a 2 QB set. I would not be very surprised to see that, but the bottom line is that they're changing QBs. Moving to the third team, we have the New England Patriots. The Patriots are not keeping Cam, no shit, they're not keeping Cam. He threw 5 passing TDs last season. I don't know what the Patriots are going to do. We thought they were going to do something during last year's draft, and then they just didn't. Maybe Trey Lance falls to them at 15. I would not be shocked to see them take him there. But I definitely think the Patriots are going to make some move that's going to raise some eyebrows, like maybe a Mitchell Trubisky move or a Mac Jones. But I think you just got to trust Belichick and McDaniels. That's my view on it. Moving on to the fourth of the 7 teams, we have the Jacksonville Jaguars. This one's as obvious as the Saints one. They're picking Trevor Lawrence. They're not sticking with Gardner. Let's just move on to the Las Vegas Raiders. Both Derek Carr and Marcus Mariota have been a part of rumors that have been circulating. I definitely think they're trading Mariota before they do Carr, because Mariota can probably give you a third or fourth round pick. It depends on what the bidding is, but yeah, I think the Raiders will definitely at least move one of those two. Then I would not be surprised if Derek Carr is a part of that. I don't know what they're going to get back and who will be their quarterback next year. I really don't know, but I have a feeling that Derek Carr is just out of there. Moving on, we have the Denver Broncos. The Drew Lock experiment failed. They went all in with him. They gave him KJ Hamler, Jerry Jeudy. They just went all in with him. And you can blame it on injuries. You can blame it on whatever. They did suffer a bunch of injuries. But you can blame it on whatever. Drew Lock did not look great. So, yeah, they have been a major player with the Deshaun Watson news. They were a major player with the Stafford news. So the Broncos, it looks like they're moving on regardless from Drew Lock. And 7 out of 7, let's wrap this baby up, is the Carolina Panthers. They were also a major player with the Stafford news. Reportedly, they offered their number 8 pick. I definitely do think one of three, one of three, Justin Fields, Zach Wilson, or Trey Lance will be there at 8. I expect them to either pick a QB or trade for a QB with that number 8 pick. I don't think Teddy Bridgewater is bad, but I think that Matt Rule, but I think it's pretty evident that Matt Rule wants to move on, and I cannot really blame him. I think if you have a QB and build him up with DJ Moore, Robbie Anderson, and Christian McCaffrey, you can have something special down there in Carolina. So, yeah, that will do it for me today. Actually, one more, the Atlanta Falcons. I honestly forgot to write them down until I was halfway through this recording, so this is just straight improv. Falcons, I have them and probably won't change. I think Matt Ryan, I don't know who's going to take on Matt Ryan's contract. Someone just took on Carson Wentz's contract, so really who knows. But I don't even think the Falcons should be drafting a QB, to be fair. I don't think Matt Ryan was the issue with the Falcons. I don't think he was the reason they sucked. It was definitely it was definitely the defense, and that problem will be addressed when I release my mock draft, which should be coming whenever. I really don't know. So yeah, now that would do it for me today. If you enjoyed this video, just leave it a thumbs up. It helps out the channel a lot. If you rock with the video and think you'll rock with other videos, hit the subscribe button. I try to do this daily. I find it pretty fun. Share it with a friend if you want to. I really can't control you. Hope you enjoyed and have a great day.